The National Day of Remembrance for Victims of Terrorism is observed in memory of those who lost their lives to acts of terror in the world. The General Assembly established 21st August as the International Day of Remembrance of and tribute to the victims of terrorism in order to honor and support the victims and survivors of terrorism, and to promote and protect the full enjoyment of their human rights and fundamental freedom.
Any activities that brings about violence that is aimed towards civilians to undermine the integrity of the government, because when there is bomb attack somewhere, it will attract government, and one way or the other, it might undermine the security apparatus of government. So when we say terrorism, it simply means the act or actions that brings about violence that can take human life.
Terrorism can be dated back to the regime of General Olusegun Obasanjo, who ruled Nigeria between 1976 to 1979 as a military head of state then. As at that time, the level of terrorists in Nigeria was still at a sketchy stage. But along the line, when he returned as a civilian president in 1999, the people from the northern part of the country were against some of his policies, to the extent that they assembled some group of people to sabotage such policies that are not favorable to them.
It's more or less like a group that are set up illegally, most especially those who possess arms and ammunition in an illegal way. And currently in Nigeria, the activities of kidnapping, unnecessary killings of innocent beings is regarded as terrorism.
Victims of terrorism continue to struggle to have their voices heard, have their needs supported, and their rights upheld. Victims often feel forgotten and neglected after terrorist attack fades, which can have profound consequences on them.
They should be remembered. They are citizens of this country that laid up their lives. The reason why we are facing this crisis, they lay down their lives for all they know nothing about. They should be remembered. They are heroes.
If some people gathered themselves, well coordinated, and attacked a victim, those victims must not be forgotten because they did not cause the thing themselves. When we look at what happened in the popular 9/11 in the United States of America, where terrorists attacked the World Trade Organization and killed thousands of people, then you'll be discovered that every 9/11 of every year is being remembered. Those that died there are being remembered. So terrorist victims should be remembered. They should be supported.
I would say over the last decade, terrorism in Nigeria has been rampant. It's almost a new system to the Nigerian sector, because before now we've always experienced a peaceful nation and all of that.
The risk of further terrorist kidnap is high across Nigeria. This is particularly acute in the northeast of the country. Kidnaps have included humanitarian and private sector workers.
I have the opportunity of traveling to, or let me put it this way, of serving in the core north, especially in Zamfara. You see, level of education in that area is quite different. It seems people in that area are totally isolated from the western and eastern part of the country. You see that the type of education given to them there is quite different from what we are obtaining here. Most especially, what they're exposed to is their Islamic education, which is quite different from the Western education. And if you look at the Right Child Act, education should be free and compulsory for all school-going age children. So the government should make sure that they at least provide a qualitative education that would stand the test of time, in making sure that, because it is very difficult for anybody now, with my level, with my status, with the level of education that I've acquired, to tell me that I should come and perhaps join illegal group. It will not be possible. But you see, most of these guys, most of these people joining the activities of terrorists, most of them are illiterate. They cannot differentiate between their right and their left, and that is why the reoccurrence of terrorism on a daily basis continues to persist.
When people are indoctrinated, they will no longer think about other people, that, especially those that are not from their own faith. For instance, when the issue of Boko Haram came on board, some people were brainwashed, indoctrinated to the extent that they believe that if you can take away your life, some virgins are waiting for you in heaven. So they will want to involve themselves in suicide attack. The issue of poverty, when you look at those people that are being trained to join this terrorist group, are people that are in abject poverty. Somebody that has not eaten and somebody just call on you and say, okay, well, please come and join this group. If you join this group, these are the things that are waiting you. You get your daily bread, this are money you will get it. Before you know it, they will want to join. But somebody that is okay, that is working, that has his daily bread ready, will not be brainwashed into doing that.
Victims can only recover and cope with their trauma through long-term multi-dimensional support, including physical, psychological, social, and financial, in order to heal and live with dignity. Member states, together with the government, should provide the resources or the capacity required for victims to fully recover, rehabilitate, and integrate back into the society. Angela Daku reporting for KAFTAN Television.